Hey guys, Harrison here, and in this video it's not yet another pair of shoes. This time it is an old pair of shoes finally back from Revivo. They have been revived. I've not opened them yet. They came in the post yesterday. Had to get the camera, get the lights. It's a bit dark out. So I wanted you guys to experience the opening or reopening of an old pair of shoes, basically. So let's just get right into this. Comes in another box. I didn't send it in a box, I just literally bagged them up, posted them, free postage. So before I open this up, just to remind you, I went for the full Revival service. So there's 3 tiers, well there's technically 4, one's a kid's one, but there's 3 tiers. There's like refresh, resole, and then revive. So it's like replace the soles, replace the uppers, or do both and everything like that. I did the full works. It cost £57. So before I look at the end result, in my mind I'm thinking, do I buy a brand new pair of Raws, which if you've not seen I did, but then ended up sending them back. They're like 130 quid now, or if you already own a pair, 57 quid, and hopefully they're as good as nearly new. And for anyone else that's looking for a cheaper pair of Vivos but don't want to buy a brand new pair, if you go to Revivo, you can actually buy these. So if I had sent these back, someone else, if your feet are as big as mine are, would have been able to buy these. But not these, because these came back to me. Let's open them up. This is kind of a really weird experience because I'm opening up a box of shoes that are already mine. So, bit of stuffing in them. They've even included yet another pair of cork insoles. I didn't send them out with them. They just went bare as they were, but they've added another pair of cork insoles. It's pretty cool. I feel like I'm gonna have that many of these. I'll be able to start selling them. But that's cool that they sent those as well. Okay, let's look at the outside first. So first of all, they've definitely been polished up. They're looking a bit smarter. These brand new laces, which is nice. Brand new soles on them. It's really interesting. So looking at the new soles that they've put on these, I can't quite put my finger on how they make these soles. Like I wish I could see where these soles come from, because it's almost like, even though they have the same print sometimes, the actual mold that they come out of almost seems to be different, because sometimes like there's like more on the front of one, or the heel comes up a bit further, or is lower down. These look pretty uniform compared to each other. Maybe not actually, maybe a little higher on this side than on this side on the inner of the foot, but the sole is definitely different than the one that is on the Raw 2, technically a Raw 3 I think when I bought it. Where it definitely came up all the way over the end of the toe. This does, but kind of lips up here. Don't know if you can see that, but it lips up a little here. I'm getting a bit bogged down in the details, but it's just interesting to see that the sole is different on these than is what is on the new versions of the Raws. Going back to the finish of the sole, compared to what was on here previously, I think if I remember rightly, luckily I recorded looking at these before I sent them off, but the fronts probably went up a little bit. So you can, if you look closely, just around the edges, you know, it's not too bad. You can see where they've, I think they've glued it. They've obviously restitched it, but there's like there's signs of maybe where they removed the previous sole before they stuck the new one on. Yeah, there's like there must be some sort of adhesive that they've added on here as well. It's just something I've noticed. Overall, visually, they look, I mean, they've polished them up. They've added a new pair of laces. It's still got on here the original scratch. Not that they were going to fix that anyway. I didn't expect them to, but you know. It's like an old friend has come back to join me. One thing I have already noticed, so in the bottom, see the leather that's in the bottom. I thought, maybe wrongly, that they would replace that specific bit too, if you can see. Oh, loose thread in here. I thought that they would replace that bit as well, because in this one, my right shoe, I've worn a hole in it or through it, whereas now I can feel the new, where is it? There. I can fit, the hole is still there basically, they've not replaced that. So I wore through that leather bit. That has not been replaced. Kind of thought it would, but at that point, there's not much left on the shoe before you're just buying a brand new shoe. So the final test before we get away is, to try these on. You would assume that they're gonna feel exactly the same, or at least you'd hope they're gonna feel the same as they did previously, but you never know, because like I say, the sole sometimes is a little bit different. So let's check that out. So they're on, and they feel, as you would expect, just like putting my old pair of Raw 2s on. These feel surprisingly different to the new pair of Raws that I bought. Again, if you've not seen that video, guys, check out my thoughts on what my brand new pair of Raw, technically Raw 3s, I think they were before they actually changed the name. But these, they're as good as new. I am super impressed, to be honest with you. I thought, I don't know, that they just kind of ruined them, fears that they'd ruin them, but now I've got my old work shoes back, I'm buzzing. What more can I say, guys? These shoes have officially been revived. Honestly, they feel just like they did when I sent them away, apart from the firmer, fresher sole that is on the bottom of them. So this has been my first experience with the Revivo service, and I've got to say I have been very pleased with it overall. What do you expect for them to resole your shoe and freshen it up? The fact that it's less than half the price of a brand new pair and stops you from throwing the old ones away. I did order, or send these off, should I say, to get revived in early May. I think it was about the 3rd of May when I sent it off. So it's taken about 6 weeks to come back around. I've got other shoes in that time, but that's why I bought the other Raws in the first place, to send these off while I had another pair. Anyway, I won't keep pushing that on you. Watch that video if you've not seen it. But yeah, really impressed with the service, impressed at the condition that they've come back in. This has got probably another, 2 years, I think, 3 years, if my crazy maths was correct in the previous video. So super happy with them. And like I say, if you're still looking to get a pair of Vivobarefoot shoes, there is a code in the description to get 20% off your first order. But if you still sort of want to test your feet in a new pair of Vivobarefoot shoes, and you don't want to pay a price for a brand new pair, check out Revivo. The condition of these could be your next shoe, So, and I think these are in pretty good condition. Admittedly, they have been worn, so they're not perfect, but that's the whole point in the Revivo service. You're not getting a brand new shoe, but it's also not getting thrown into landfill. Hopefully this was helpful. Recommend the Revivo service. I want to say thank you to Revivo as well, actually, for repairing these, 57 quid, again. I'm very pleased. If this was helpful, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to see more videos on what seems to be just my ginormous Vivobarefoot shoe collection, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys, I will see you all again very soon. Cheers.